I was just talking about, we need to review where we're at. Our production so far, we're sort of the halfway mark. So I'm going over the 6 weeks, the 6 month stats. How are we doing? We're doing freaking amazing. But there's still room to improve. We need to keep our pedal to the metal and keep going. First, let's go over some of the goals that we set last year, some of the criteria we were looking at: attendance, one-to-ones, referrals, visitors. These were the yearly goals, the biggest one being member count being at 35 by the end of the year. The other big goal that we set was $500,000. That's almost double our production of last year. And then the final one is 100% 4-star members. So broken down on a monthly basis, remember we're looking for members to have 3 one-to-ones per week. The minimum was, we were looking for on referrals was 100, the stretch goal was 150. The visitors, we're looking for 20 visitors a month at about 1.25 members. And we had a big goal, monthly goal of $41,000 on a monthly basis, and had about 1 4-star member a month. So some of the top 10 categories we were obviously looking for. Obviously we've taken care of a couple of them, but still the biggest ones we're looking for is the family law attorney, the event planner, and the plumber. I really do need the help from some of the newer members because a lot of us have exhausted some of our resources, either inviting for visitor day or inviting throughout the years. But I know Nels is really looking for a good clutch plumber to be working with, as well as a lot of us could probably work with an event planner. And I always wanted to grow the attorney base, and you know, I'm very glad we got another attorney in here. And the last one we're really looking for is the family law attorney. So some of the brutal truth, some of the things we're doing right, some of the things that we wanted to improve. One was inviting visitors. I think that was sort of taken care of with Visitor Day. The other side was, you know, I think we're still very prepared for the meetings. It's still very fun and very well-ran meetings. Thank you to Dolores doing a great job. But again, you know, attendance. You guys gotta have your subs here if you guys are not gonna make it. You know, Linda did an amazing job last week of finding somebody that was a category that wasn't open, somebody that was in the top 10, and that had never been to a BNI meeting. I mean, that is the perfect visitor ever. We made a great first impression. He submitted in an app. Only seeing half the meeting, he was already submitting the app. So that's a great idea of a good sub. But where the rubber meets the road, all right, you know how I love my statistics. All right. So let's look at last year, the production that we were doing. 118 one-to-ones, 56 visitors, averaging about 9 visitors a month, and our member count of about 20. We're doing about 22,000 production on a monthly basis. So one-to-ones are up about 15%. Referrals are up about 11%.
Yay.
Visitors, I think we have the same visitor count as about the same amount that we have on visitor day. So I just think we're doing a poor job of actually tracking the visitors and getting the slips into Mark and making sure that we have all the visitor counts accurate. So just making sure that we have a slip that's turned in if you have a visitor. And Mark, how do we deal with subs? Do we turn in the slip next week?
Yeah,
or do they count as visitors?
when you show back up, you just turn it in. Like I had a sub last week, I put in a visitor this week.
All right, so if you are out and have a sub, make sure you turn in that visitor slip the following week. Member count is right on track, and that was exactly what Mike said. We've grown about 30% from 20 to 26. This is the number I'm the most proud of, is look at that production. We've grown 82%.
Wow.
I don't quite know where Mark got these stats because I pulled the half-year mark from October 4th through April 16th, and we had 248,000. So I know we had 160,000 inside the chapter, but our total production was 240,000. And that's from the
Well, if you said April 4 or October 4 to April 16, you're adding 2 weeks in April. And I think there was a big week in April.
That might have been the difference. But, you know, 82% growth.
That's great.
So we're above our goal of $41,000 on a monthly basis. 4-star members is obviously up, but I think it'll just be a big flow of new members once they all get all their trainings taken care of. The 2 issues I saw was with one-to-ones and referrals. Our actual member average has dropped. So these numbers drops just slightly. So realistically, if we were doing about 5.9 when we had 20 members, now we're doing about 5.2 with 26. So I know the stats are up, but it's basically because the member count has increased. So, and then the same with referrals. So realistically, we should have about 150 one-to-ones if we're keeping the same production we had at 20. But again, we have to have 3 one-to-ones per week. That was the goal that we set. The referrals will be a direct result of one-to-ones. I know it's getting back to the basics, but you gotta have the one-to-ones. It's basic, it's how BNI works. If we were doing the same production on referrals as we were doing last year, we'd have about 75. So we just need to have more one-to-ones. And that's really where the goal summary comes in, is obviously leading off, we have to have more one-to-ones. 3 per week. Try and have those 3 every week. Have a reason to meet, have a game plan, and again, referrals will increase as a result of one-to-ones. More training, more 4-star members, the most successful chapters have the most one-to-ones and the most 4-star members. That's the success combination. And then invited visitors will always be a focus until we're a chapter of 40, and people want to come find us rather than us trying to find the quality professionals. But again, a chapter of 32 has 7 times the production of a chapter of 29. If anybody's gone and visited chapters of the 35 and 40 plus, they're already in millions of production already for this year. And so it's just a big leapfrog once you cross that 32 mark. So our goal is 35 members by the end of the year. So some things we have coming up on the calendar. We've got the leadership meeting today. I'll be discussing some of the stuff in the next slide. Tomorrow we got the party at the Classic Q, picked up on the Fortune Builders because we won the race to 25. The address is up there. It's from 5 till 8. Happy hours from 3 till 6. So we're going to be ordering food at 6 to get the happy hour prices. And we have a private room, 3 pool tables, and again food will be at 6. No, that's when happy hour does. The actual event starts at 5. It goes from 5 till 8, but happy hour will only be for that first hour if you get there right at 5.
And I will.
We have the Hornblower Mixer, May 23rd. We need your guys' help selling tickets. Even if you are not going to be making it there, you need to really try and be marketing this. We've already gotten invited to a Strategic Alliance Mixer, and I don't know if it's solely because of the Hornblower, but I know we're getting our name out. And that was the point of the Hornblower, is to separate us from all the other BNI chapters. And people are catching on, people are knowing a lot more about it. And then we have Power Students training on May 30th. It will be at Old World, and it will be the final training that we do, and hopefully it is the last one that the new members need to get their 4-star as well. So some upcoming things that I'll be talking in leadership training. One thing I want to do a 4-chapter thank you for closed business competition. It's just going to be an average seat value, so you just take the 4-month thank you for closed divided by members. That's the straight up competition. But I'm trying to find 4 chapters that are similar size and production to make the game fair. Right when that starts, I'm going to be doing the Triangle Challenge 2.0. We've tried it in the past. What it is for the new members is basically you'll have 2 names, and they'll be essentially people that would be sort of power partners. So Nels might get, Art and Drake. So people that he should be able to get referrals for. Your focus for that month is to get those 2 members a referral. All right, you meet with them. 2 times you're listening, 2 times you're talking. What you'll do there is sales manager minute by the end of the month, everybody should have 2 referrals from potential power partners, because that's going to be the next thing I want to focus on, is truly developing a power team. After the game, we'll be doing a chapter barbecue. August, we'll start talking to leadership teams. We either talk with Dolores, Mark, or myself, if you guys are interested in the upcoming leadership team. Who's ready for some foosball? We've got the OCBB starting in September. It's spreading like a wildfire across BNI. I already know 4 chapters that are doing it. We might do a Super Bowl competition with it.